A very good afternoon. You're watching Lunchtime News here on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Yuki Portia. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon.
හත්වෙනි විධායක ජනපති ලෙස ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ දිවුරුම් දෙයි. ඉන්දියාවේ සංචාරයකට මෝදිගෙන් ගෝඨාභයට ආණ්ඩු පක්ෂයේ පාර්ලිමේන්තු මත
President-elect Gotabaya Rajapaksa was sworn in today as the 7th executive president of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka. The swearing-in took place opposite the sacred Ruanveli Mahasaya in Anuradhapura.
Including the Anunayaka of the Askeri chapter, the Siam sect, Most Venerable Veneru Anunayaka of the Mallatha chapter, the Siam sect, Most Venerable Dimul Kumure Vimala Dhammathera were present at the location.
The floral tribute being offered at the Vihara Mahadevi statue, and then he'll be escorted to this main stage.
Sri Lanka Prajatantrika Samajwadi Janraje Janadipati Duraya Atikaru Gotabaya Rajapaksa Methituma visin Bharaganu labana bava Mevin Nivedanekun labe Udayar Senivaratna Janadipati Leka.
At the 2019 presidential election to elect the 7th executive president of our country, Gotabaya Rajapaksa of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna received 6,924,255 votes, 52.25% of the total number of votes that were cast. He was able to win 16 electoral districts out of the 22 and won a majority of the electorates. Gotabaya Rajapaksa functioned as a secretary to the Ministry of Defence and Urban Development under the government of Mahinda Rajapaksa. Prior to this, he was also an officer of the Sri Lanka Army.
The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had wished Sri Lanka's newly elected President Gotabaya Rajapaksa over the phone.
India's Prime Minister office said during the conversation, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has accepted the invitation extended by the Prime Minister Narendra Modi for a visit to India. Conveying the good wishes on behalf of the people of India and on his own behalf, the Indian Prime Minister has expressed confidence that under the leadership of President Rajapaksa, the people of Sri Lanka will progress further on the path of peace and prosperity, and fraternal, cultural, historical and civilizational ties between India and Sri Lanka will be further strengthened. The Indian Prime Minister has reiterated India's commitment to continue to work with the government of Sri Lanka to these ends. President Rajapaksa has thanked the Prime Minister for his good wishes. He has also expressed his readiness to work with India very closely to ensure development and security.
A special meeting of the ruling party parliamentary group will be held this afternoon. Minister Mano Ganeshan said the meeting is set to take place at the parliamentary premises at 2 p.m. this afternoon. He noted the discussion will be focused on the results of the 2019 presidential election. The meeting is set to take place under the auspices of Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe. One person was killed and 3 others injured following an accident that occurred in Vevalhede area in Badulla. The accident had occurred when a car fell into a 300 feet deep precipice. Police said the cause of the accident was speeding. The victim was a 48-year-old resident of Reelpulla, Badulla. Our correspondent said the injured were admitted to the Badulla-based hospital. The Water Supply and Drainage Board says that several areas in Colombo are experiencing issues in the supply of water as a result of a leak in the main line that carries water from Amatale to Maliga Kanda. The water supply has been completely disrupted in the Fort Petta, Chittampalam, A. Gardiner Mavatha and Dr. Vijayvardhana Mavatha. Colombo 12 and 13 are experiencing a low-pressure water supply. The water board says the water supply will be returned to normalcy as soon as possible. In your international news, Hong Kong police laid siege to protesters who were holed up at a university, firing tear gas and water cannon at pro-democracy activists who were garrisoned inside. The police action took place at a university as protesters armed with patrol bombs and other weapons faced off against a police water cannon truck and armoured vehicles. Police fired volleys of tear gas and rubber bullets to force back dozens of protesters who tried to escape the campus after a night of mayhem in which major roads and a police armoured van were set alight and a police officer was shot with an arrow. Police had earlier threatened to fire live bullets if rioters did not stop using lethal weapons, and police troops and the water cannon truck subsequently retreated. Meanwhile, the U.S. Embassy in Colombo has issued a press release regarding the presidential election in Sri Lanka.
The release says the United States congratulates the people of Sri Lanka on their democratic presidential election and looks forward to working with President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. It adds Sri Lanka has continued to show the strength and resilience of its republic with a free, fair and transparent presidential election befitting Asia's oldest democracy. The US Embassy says we commend the Elections Commission, civil society and government authorities for promoting a peaceful election. It further states we are ready to continue our work with the new president and with all the people of Sri Lanka in supporting the country's sovereignty through heightened governance, expanded economic growth, the advancement of human rights and reconciliation, and in fostering an Indo-Pacific region where all countries can prosper.
An almsgiving was held at the Abhayarame Vihara in Narayanpeta in line with the birthday of the opposition leader Mahinda Rajapaksa.
The almsgiving was held under the auspices of the chief incumbent of the Narayanpeta Abhayarame Vihara, Venerable Muruttatuve Ananda Thero. The event was attended by opposition leader and several others. Ranil Wickremesinghe's prime ministerial position still prevails since the current government is still in power. I believe the best solution is for the people's mandate. Half of the cabinet has resigned. We are waiting to see what will happen. A very free and fair election was held. We are thankful to the Elections Commission and its members, security officials and the media.
After speaking to the media, the birthday of the opposition leader was celebrated in this manner.
In more local news, Padali Champika Ranawaka has resigned from his portfolio as Minister of Mega Police and Western Development. In a letter to President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Padali Champika Ranawaka has stated that he took this decision with respect to the people's mandate. Meanwhile, Padali Champika Ranawaka has also congratulated Gotabaya Rajapaksa on his presidency. And with that, it's a wrap of lunchtime news for the Newsfirst team. I'm Miyuki Poshia. Take care and good day.